While King Charles was out in Norfolk this weekend, waving at runners and playing the role of the grandfather of the nation, the foundation of his monarchy was screaming. The latest dump of the Epstein files isn't just a PR problem. It is a radioactive exposure of how the British elite operates. While the king tries to look business as usual, his brother, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, is being dragged through the digital mud of 3 million documents. But here's the thing. The palace wants you to believe Charles is the hero of this story. They want you to believe he's done everything he possibly could to punish his brother. Today, we aren't mincing words. We're looking at the tawdry images of Andrew on his hands and knees. We're looking at the invitations Epstein received to Buckingham Palace after his first conviction. And we're asking the question the palace is terrified of. Is Charles protecting the monarchy, or is he protecting himself? Let's look at the facts. The 2026 document dump revealed that Andrew invited Jeffrey Epstein to BP, Buckingham Palace shorthand, just 1 month after Epstein was released from his first jail stint as a sex offender. Think about that. The vetting process for the palace is legendary. You don't get in to see a prince without a paper trail. This means the institution knew exactly who Epstein was, and they opened the gates anyway. Then there are the images. The files describe Andrew on his hands and knees in a compromising position. They describe beautiful, trustworthy 26-year-old Russian women being arranged for his dinners. This isn't unwise behavior. This is a pattern of predatory entitlement funded by the British taxpayer and shielded by royal protection officers. Critics like Ingrid Seward are out here in the sun saying, Charles has done everything he could. Really? He moved him from a 30-room mansion to a slightly smaller mansion. He let him keep his security. He's still paying his bills. If that's everything he could do, then the King of England has less power than a local magistrate. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has gone on record. Andrew not testifying is a slap in the face to victims. And he's right. But why won't Andrew talk? The palace narrative is that he's a disastrous interviewee. They cite the Woking Pizza Express alibi and the inability to sweat as reasons to keep him quiet. But that's a lie. They aren't keeping him quiet because he's bad at talking. They're keeping him quiet because he knows where the bodies are buried. If Andrew goes under oath before the U.S. Congress, he doesn't just take himself down. He takes down the vetting process. He takes down the security details who watched him bring trafficked girls into royal residences. He might even take down the king. Charles isn't a distressed brother. He's a CEO of a dying brand. And Andrew is the leak that could sink the whole ship. Let's talk about the hypocrisy. The palace launched a global, high-speed investigation into Meghan Markle because of a bullying allegation from 2 staff members. They moved mountains to smear her. But when it comes to Andrew, a man linked to a global sex trafficking ring? Oh, we're powerless. Our hands are tied. It's a family matter. The public isn't buying it anymore. The comments on sites like Celebici show a shift. People are calling for the total dismantling of the institution. They see a king who looks unwell and distressed, but they don't feel sorry for him. Why should they? Charles has spent years bringing Andrew in from the cold, trying to rehab his image while the victims were left in the dirt. The duty of care the palace keeps talking about only applies to Andrew. Where is the duty of care for Virginia Giuffre? Where is the duty of care for the girls who were trafficked into Balmoral or Sandringham? Let's break down the palace's damage control strategy. By keeping Andrew in a smaller mansion, he keeps him close. If Andrew is broke and homeless, he starts writing a memoir. And a posthumous memoir from Andrew would be the end of the Windsors. The monarchy is now synonymous with a lack of accountability. Every time Charles wears the crown, people see the shadow of the Epstein files. He is trading the long-term survival of the crown for the short-term silence of his brother. Critics are saying the Windsor brand is sullied beyond repair. You can't be the moral leader of the Commonwealth when you're funding a man who thinks he's above the law because of who his mother was. King Charles III is at a crossroads. He can either be the king who finally cleaned house, or the king who presided over the final, grimy chapter of the British monarchy. Doing everything he could doesn't mean moving Andrew to a different house. It means stripping the prince title entirely. It means removing his security. It means telling him to get on a plane to D.C. and tell the truth. But he won't do it. Because in the world of the Windsors, the firm comes first and justice comes last. The Epstein files aren't going away. And as long as Andrew is protected, neither is the stench of this scandal. What do you think? Is Charles truly powerless? Or is he just another enabler in a crown?
To like this video and subscribe for more royal insights. Until next time, stay regal and stay curious.